Hey, it's a Wednesday. It's Rumor and Innuendo. I'm Dominic D'Angelo of adfreeshows.com, SEScoops.com, and 1truesporttv.com. But per usual, I am here with Mr. Robert Karplis, WDE creative_ish. Robert, happy Wednesday to you, man.
Happy Wednesday. Start of the day. Start of the show yawning. Not indicative of how excited I am to be here. Just a byproduct of life, Dom. But I'm glad you're indoors. You're home. You're not terrorizing the local cafe and jacket lady. But let's say hi to some of the folks who are joining us here today.
Triple E says, "What's up?" Willie Thornbrew says, "Harley Cameron on Dynamite tonight. That's best for business." Alt Jake adds that NXTNA was a lot of fun last night. We'll definitely cover that. Christopher Zento says, "Hey, yo, it's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's Wednesday Dynamite," says Wrestling Old Head. And Johnny Disco chimed in too with a hello. So does Dre Owen, says NXT was cooking last night, but I'm thinking the matches for Roadblock should have been at Stand and Deliver. Very interesting. Yeah, they really hyped that card up there. And Jeff Henninger also adds, "Hello, R&I. Can't believe Tony got a chat during NXT. How about that?" All right. Yeah, Robert, how much of NXT did you catch? Did you watch the whole thing, or did you just?
I watched absolutely none of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I had every intention of trying to watch NXT this morning. Did not get a chance to. Had a little bit of a work situation pop up, but I have tangentially heard some things from it, and ironically enough, was just texting with TNA producer Lance Storm a few moments ago. He just got back from their tapings in Orlando that were wildly successful. But it is my understanding that Matt and Jeff Hardy found a backdoor entrance back into the WWE.
Well, they went up against No Quarter Catch Crew, and they had a pretty darn good match. The crowd was all for them there, obviously, and it felt like a good welcome home party almost in a lot of ways. And according to some reports, I believe that Wrestle Votes kind of went off on, said that there's plans down the line with the Hardys and WWE. And you can tell why, because they already came out with an NXT version T-shirt for them already too. So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. And so we're gonna get a tag team championship match where they put the titles on the line at Roadblock against Fraxium, and we got a little cameo from Santino Marella. And I gotta tell you, Robert, there's not a lot of wrestlers that really just make me genuinely pop, like laugh during shows. Like The Rock is one exception. Santino Marella is another one. Just what he was doing was really good. So it was kind of nice to see him back in the mix.
Santino's a dude who fully understands what his character is, despite what Cornette may think when throwing a slap at his face. Santino was one of those guys who could make chicken salad out of chicken excrement.
Yes.
Good, a Vince McMahon quote here. What's amazing about this TNA relationship, and I think this is something worth pointing out here across the board, is the idea that WWE just released a number of talent. And I know at least Elektra Lopez is talking about being interested in TNA. It's a way for the WWE to help right size its budgets, its numbers, while still getting to utilize these talent. So the folks that are in TNA, whether it's the legends like Moose or the Hardy Boys or some of the younger talents, bringing in, let's say, an Ace Austin or something like that, it's a way to spotlight these guys without actually having them on the payroll. My guess is Matt and Jeff Hardy are probably being looked at for the Hall of Fame.
Well, that's a great point. Yeah, absolutely a great point. Would you kind of postpone that though for a year? Because would you think that they could be a headline?
Here's the challenge with Matt and Jeff Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what's going to be going on with Jeff Hardy on a year-to-year basis. And to some degree, you never know what's going on with Matt Hardy. That seems to have calmed down significantly of late. But Jeff has had a number of troubles. That was part of his issue in AEW and in TNA before, and in WWE before, and in TNA before, and in WWE before. It's a recurring thing. The hope is he's on a positive upward trajectory. For right now, get him into the Hall of Fame. Get that moment, get that spotlight, be able to sell the merchandise, get him into a video game next year, maybe some kind of a Legends deal while he's able to actively wrestle in TNA. And then it's two names off the list. Because if you wait, and if heaven forbid something winds up happening with Jeff where he has another slip, another relapse, another something, they're not going to be able to get another bite at the apple. And I think going with a Hall of Fame of Triple H, Michelle McCool, and the Hardys. Those are names people know.
Yeah, very recognizable name. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Would like to see them. They actually are well deserved for it. So yeah, I would be down for that.
Alt Jake has a good point here, saying that Rodney the Piper and Baptista were his favorite names. I think the all-timer though is the Honky Donkey Man.
That was pretty good. How he kind of butchered Ava's name last night was really funny too. It was just pretty funny.
Well, he knows what he's doing. His daughter obviously is in NXT. I believe she's engaged to Stax Lorenzo.
Oh, how about that?
See, things I know that I don't know why I know them. And yet here I am.
Robert, you should start like a People magazine, but for pro wrestling. Get on that.
I should start a People magazine for wrestling.
Yeah, where it's like you just have all the gossip of not, and I don't mean like the backstage news. I mean relationship gossip, all that stuff. Just start something like that going on.
Yeah, that's what Rumor and Innuendo is.
I guess so.
there was supposed to be a structure to this show. The idea was my co-host would comb the dirt sheets and give us all of the news stories. Instead, it has morphed into whatever the heck this is, and people sure as hell seem to love it, and that is why we are glad that we are here to do it. There is a little bit of a rumor and innuendo going on, thanks to ad-free show's brethren and friend of the show now, Eric Bischoff. Have you seen this story, Mr. D'Angelo?
I have not seen this story. What is this?
This was reported by a number of sites, including SC Scoops, with which you write for, and others were taking quotes from 83 Weeks with Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson, talking about where there's smoke, there may be fire, as it relates to Vince McMahon launching a new wrestling promotion.
Yes. What do you make of this here, Robert, from what you're gathering?
So the specificity of what they're saying, the caginess of Conrad, and Conrad is verbally cagey, whereas physically pretty stationary. But the fact of the matter is, he keeps saying that Vince has been talking to some production folks, including camera people, which makes me think that Kevin Dunn has pointed him to some seasoned pros, some talent who's no longer at WWE but knows how to shoot wrestling. And wrestling, you know this with your promotion that you have an opportunity to do commentary for. Shooting professional wrestling is unlike shooting anything else.
Oh, yeah.
This was a challenge when we were at WWE and trying to explain this to camera folks. It's a challenge at MLW with getting camera guys because they think you're shooting it like boxing. They think you're shooting it like a sporting event. With this one camera guy, Charlie, who was a former ECW camera guy, that dude was fearless. He knew exactly what to do and how to get in there because you need to basically put yourself in harm's way to get those shots. So Vince reaching out to seasoned camera guys from the world of wrestling makes me think there may be something going on. I know there was some speculation about Fox being involved in this, either airing it or potentially funding it in some way, shape, or form. It's very hard for Vince to stay away from wrestling. I completely understand that. Vince has the kind of ego that he is not going to concede and admit defeat. The man has brought back the XFL twice.
Yeah.
And if he can find wrestlers that are willing to work for him, he's going to go and try to put out some form of a product, most likely. And I don't know if audiences are going to be forgiving and decide that they're going to tune in and see what Vince is doing. But given how the culture is right now, there does seem to be a little bit of, yeah, we know what this guy did, but we kind of want good content, so we don't care.
It could almost be like car crash tune in, where it's just like, oh my God, Vince bringing back a wrestler after all this has been going on. Well, I got to see what it's like, but man, I don't know if that has a long lasting ability. It almost feels very XFL-ish in certain ways because now just for different reasons of what's all the news about Vince. I don't think it's something that would be sustainable. And you think about what's surrounding it all too. Is a network really going to tie their wagon to somebody like that could get worse?
Well, I don't think it would be Fox proper. I think it would be some sort of a Fox property, whether this is a Fox Sports thing, a streaming thing, they sell it to a website. Hell, Slap Fight was a thing.
Oh my God, it still
Dudes
is.
slapping each other in the face was literally on television. There are a number of wrestlers that Vince can go after, can go and acquire, who are not being used elsewhere on a major stage, and create something. And the fact that it has Vince's fingerprints on it, it's going to get some publicity. It's going to get some press, whether it's good or bad. Doesn't really matter in the world of wrestling. Wrestling is a very strange world. You look at how many dark sides of the ring there are.
It's true.
And a lot of those folks who there are, I mean, Jake Roberts' father
My God.
worked for decades when people seem to openly know this man committed a significant amount of atrocities.
Right.
So we'll see. I know there was a big wrestling show in Qatar this past week. I've seen wrestling friends of mine. Matt Cardona went over there and wrestled. Rich Bocchini was doing commentary for them there. There's international money that exists. Vince was the one that built the relationship with the Saudi royal family at first. There's no reason to think that there's not potentially international money that's going to come in from there. So the wrestling world is very much a world where there's pretty much nothing you can do to get completely canceled. There are lunatics out there on the internet pushing for Chris Benoit to be in Hall of Fames
Oh my
or
God.
Halls of Fame.
Yeah.
The man is was a murderer, and people are like, oh yeah, but he was
He was a
really
good
good.
wrestler.
There's a Bill Burr joke where he was talking about O.J. Simpson, and he's like, I still watch his highlights. Like, yeah, he's a murderer, but he was a hell of a player.
I mean, you make some points. I just think too, it's like, you think about, maybe with the climate of what things are right now and things like that could be a factor, but it's also like, I think there is still that separation of like, Vince, this is like the whole thing is not fully, we don't know everything. And we might not ever, but
This
the
is
fact
the
that it's
crazy
still
thing
there.
about Vince. If you go and read the Ringmaster book, which is excellent, written by Abraham Josie Reisman. I always confuse it with his last name or her last name, sorry, and my cousin's last name.
Oh,
If you look up the Ringmaster book, it details and outlines, the decades of things that Vince was accused of. We saw in the Netflix documentary. We as wrestling fans look past the potential involvement he had in the Snuka situation. We look past the Ring Boy scandal. We look past the U.S. government going after him for potential steroid distribution. We've looked past a number of potential transgressions that Vince may or may not have committed because we love the product, and you can't really separate the art from the artist in some ways. So if Vince was able to align all those pieces and put this out there, I do think it would find an audience. And I do think that there are people out there that are, everyone will tune in once as a tire kicking thing. And then some to see, does the old man still have it? And some out of this morbid curiosity and fascination.
yeah. I mean, that's it. I mean, the latter that's morbid curiosity and fascination for sure. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna see what happens tonight too, Robert, here on AEW Dynamite. Are you
You're talking about the Dynamite? Nope. You see, you did it again. You did the thing where you did the double loop.
the loop? I know.
Begging you.
Didn't stop it. But hey, we got
What?
a pretty full-fledged announced card here tonight for AEW Dynamite.
I know none of it, so hit me. Don't you putting the graphic up?
No, I'm not. Don't worry.
Okay.
Hailing from Oceanside, California. Where is Oceanside? Is that
It's in California?
Oh, thanks. We have, like mentioned before, that Harley Cameron returning to action after her loss at AEW Grand Slam Australia, going up against Deonna Purrazzo in singles action. I appreciate the fact that she's wrestling, but it just seems a little delayed. I don't know. And against Deonna Purrazzo, who we haven't seen at all.
So Deonna Purrazzo was on an episode of Dynamite a couple weeks ago for like a 30-second thing with Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So at least I remembered that. I don't know why. I'm thrilled that they didn't push Harley Cameron into the void that they tend to put people after they lose a title match, and then they're gone forever. I think they realize Harley Cameron is really special. She is a wonderful talent for them and someone they can do something with. So getting her back on TV in some capacity is absolutely a great idea. Deonna Purrazzo was someone who they can beat 100 times out of 100. You'll get a decent match. But I think that crowd wants to be able to celebrate and enjoy Harley Cameron. And that's what this match is going to be about. She's going to get an ovation. She's going to get her flowers, if you will. And another reminder that this is somebody they should be pushing. The fact that they didn't put that title on her still baffles me to this day.
It's very baffling and just another huge misstep, I think, by the company.
Sorry, Dre Owens with amazing news. Apparently, Jesse Spano was on an episode of Cobra Kai recently. I've never watched Cobra Kai. It's on my list. But any Jesse Spano sighting, always going to be welcome.
Oh, yes, of course. Mr. Bell. Oh, my God.
Dom, you muted there for a moment.
I'm muted?
There you go.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
You're better.
Okay,
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey,
you're good.
Is this going to be better? We got
Mr. Bell.
Well, I was about to talk Mr. Belding, but we're going to pass over him. Takesha defending his AEW International Championship against Orange Cassidy. I'm still confused by this AEW International Series. I tried getting explained to me the other day, and I still don't understand it. But we have a match here, and it should be fun. I mean, both guys are talented, so we'll see.
It's Orange Cassidy versus Takeshita, and the winner faces Kenny Omega at the pay-per-view, correct?
I guess, yeah. Why is this a series, though? I don't understand the series.
It was a one-off series. It was a match, but it was a way to make you care about a Roderick Strong main event. And guess what? Didn't work. That being said, I think this will be a good match. It's a good spotlight opportunity for Takeshita, big, orange, small. I think it'll be fun. It'll be a good way for my guess. I hate to do this. I hate to fantasy book in a Tony Khan world, but my guess is that the Don Callis family will make their presence known, which means Ospreay and Kenny will need to make the save, and we'll wind up getting a 6-man tag next week.
Could be. Yes, Robert. You're pretty good at this, even also, if it's a fantasy booking.
Weird thing. Did you ever notice on Saved by the Bell, Mr. Belding had a brother, Rod Belding. That Rod Belding looked almost exactly like Owen Hart.
I'd have to Google Rod Belding.
Kids, that's your homework for today. I want you to go and do that because I don't know. I was a big Saved by the Bell guy. Watched the reruns during the week and then watched the new episodes every Saturday morning. And when I was watching on those Saturday mornings, Dom, I was usually crushing some cereal.
Whoa, nice.
Yeah, I see where we're going. You see where we're going with this, guys. This was organic, but it just wound up happening. It's also an excuse for me to say the best line in the history of that show, which is 2 buildings in one building, one of whom is balding. But as a kid, I loved eating cereal. Saturday, whether it was Saved by the Bell or was watching WWF Mania or Superstars, whatever it was, I was parked in front of the TV, enjoying a nice bowl of cereal. But as an adult, I don't want all that sugar. No. Most cereals don't give me the protein that I need. Talked about it yesterday, back out, working out, running, putting in 5 miles a day. But thankfully, I found Magic Spoon. It's a nostalgically delicious cereal that tastes just like my childhood favorites, but without the sugar and with a ton of protein. And if you're already a Magic Spoon fan, I have big news. Magic Spoon has turned their super popular cereal into high-protein treats that are light, crispy, and taste just like those classic crunchy cereal bars. Magic Spoon's brand new treats are so delicious and have already become my favorite before and after workout snack. These treats are crispy, they're crunchy, they're airy, and there's an easy way to get 12 grams of protein on the go. And for the first time ever, Magic Spoon treats are available in grocery stores with delicious flavors like marshmallow and chocolatey peanut butter. Guys, the marshmallow one tastes literally just like a certain treat that's crispy and made of rice. And you can see through this here, but you can get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/rumor. Or look for Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/rumor for $5 off. Magic Spoon, hold on to the dream.
Hold on to
the night. Hold on to the memories.
Yes. We're going to hold on to a little bit more Will Ospreay talk.
We got to stop for just a moment. Alt Jake, breaking the world here.
Uh-oh, what's going on?
Just wrote, I always thought Rod Belding looked like one of the guys from Rockapella from Where in the World is Carmen Diego. Dude, you just won the prize. That is. Here's another thing you can do, kids. After Rockapella.
If you want to.
if you go down a YouTube rabbit hole, Rockapella has a number of different covers of a number of different songs, and some of them are remarkable. Carmen Sandiego, very hard to find, and even you can take this thing off the screen.
Was that
even
a joke?
more, no, Carmen Sandiego was a great show. I loved that as a show. That was like that,
But
that
very
thing,
hard to find.
I didn't even mean that. That was well done. Saturday Night Live is on Peacock, but not every sketch from every episode is on there. One of my favorite sketches, which is impossible to find, is in the Bob Saget episode where they play "Where in the World is San Diego, California?" And it is a gem. It is not there. And yes, Alt Jake, that was Richard Marx that I was quoting.
Wow, how about that?
Anyway, what else we got on the Dynamite, Tom?
Hey, this is the match I'm looking forward to, and you're going to know why in just a couple seconds. Will Ospreay versus, if you had to guess who? Robert?
Will Ospreay. So Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega are feuding with the Don Callis family. We know we're getting him versus Kyle Fletcher at the pay-per-view. We know that Takeshita is fighting tonight. Archer and Brian Cage have nothing going on. So the logical thing would probably be Brian Cage or Lance Archer, or maybe we're teasing a Mark Davis match. All those make perfect sense. Who's he facing, Dom?
Oh, he is facing the Bad Apple himself. It is the bounty hunter, Brian Keith, in a bounty match.
Wait, what the? This is not the show where I can curse. That's Working Stiff. You can tune into Working Stiff to hear what I'm actually. What in the blue blazes? Going back to Owen Hart here, is a bounty match, and why is this happening on my TV?
Got no idea. Just says bounty match. No explanation whatsoever. Didn't know there was a bounty out on Will Ospreay, but apparently so. But hey, I love Brian Keith, so it should be a fun one.
Well, from the Red Sea to Greenland, I'll be singing the blues. Another lyric from This is all Carmen Sandiego now going forward. We're good. I also love that the woman who played the chief, legitimate actress in a lot of amazing things, and then was the chief.
I'm gonna have to go down the rabbit hole.
You go down the rabbit hole, and then when you watch that show, if you catch the clips on YouTube, realizing that the prizes were not that great on that show.
No, I kind of realized that when I watched it as a kid. I was like, these prizes kind of suck.
They weren't as bad as Double Dare, where it was always I always loved on Double Dare. You won a trip to Universal Studios Orlando, which is where Double Dare was filmed.
Right.
That's like Dom winning an all expenses paid trip to Pittsburgh. No one wants to go to Pittsburgh, Dom.
Do we want to go see Daniel Garcia and FTR taking on the Undisputed Kingdom and Adam Cole?
Now you're just messing with me. Now you're just giving me terrible matches.
That's
no one wants to see the Undisputed Kingdom at all. Why are they facing Danny Garcia and FTR? Did something happen on Collision? Where's Scott? Maybe? We need a little like Scott Chaplin bot to pop up and be like, you guys are nerds. Why didn't you watch Rampage? It doesn't still exist, but whatever.
We need Scott to be like our stat boy from PTI.
Hey, it's Tony Reale. He got a big career to that.
That's right. He did.
Took over from Max Kellerman. Boy, we are bouncing all over the place here today. I understand.
Paige might be too because he's competing in a match tonight, Robert.
Who's he taking on?
No, I don't know. It just says to compete. That's it.
Great. Hey, you know what? That Hangman Max Caster little mini match that got a great response. So I kind of feel like you can just put Hangman in there with somebody, and maybe he'll face the Bad Apple, Brian Keith. Oh no, Brian Keith's taking on Will Ospreay, which, by the way, may be a hell of a match. Though it does make you worry that they're going to get pulled into the Jericho Vortex.
Ooh, oh boy, the Jericho Vortex. Two people who are not in the Jericho Vortex are Swerve Strickland and Prince Nana, and they're set to speak. Robert, that's all it says.
As long as it's not like that Ricochet Nana promo from last week. Keep in mind, I love Ricochet. I love Nana. I consider both of them friends. This was that promo went on forever. Is MJF talking tonight?
Yes, he's set to appear. They don't say talking. He just says set to appear.
As long as he's set to appear, dude, I'm going to be there. And while I'm watching that, you know what I'm going to be eating?
What are you going to be eating, Robert?
Dom, I'm going to be eating me some Factor.
Yeah.
All right. So last night, fired up. It was a chicken chimichurri dish.
Ooh.
Dude, I went nuts for this thing. This was delicious. Popped it in the microwave. It was done in 3 minutes. I don't know how the hell they do this, by the way. It tastes ridiculously good. But guys, are you ready to optimize your nutrition this year? Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to eat in 3 minutes so you can fuel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you. My wife was stuck at a meeting last night at school. I had to fend for myself. My option was either a delicious Factor meal or peanut butter and jelly, and that is more of a shoot than I care to make it because I am a terrible cook. But Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any active, busy lifestyle. With 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's easy to pick meals tailored to your goals. Choose from preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto. This thing was less than 500 calories last night. Tasted amazing. I was full. Can't scream this enough at how great this is, but you can eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use code factorpodcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code factorpodcast at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping of your first box. I just realized you didn't put the graphic up on the screen, Dom. Best producer in the business.
It has a different code on there. That's why.
No, it's a different. Use a bunch of codes.
Yeah, a bunch of codes. Okay, bunch of codes, guys.
Is that everything on Dynamite? Have we covered the Dynamite? Have we done the thing?
We've done the thing. Yeah,
we've done the thing. We've talked a lot of important things. Vince, NXT, Carmen Sandiego, Saved by the Bell,
loose Sandlot reference.
Oh yeah, of course there was a Sandlot reference in there. We're not going to have a Sandlot reference somewhere thrown in there.
Fair point. Great comment here too by Alt Jake. I can't let this pass up. He says Dom would win an all expenses paid trip to hang out with Jacket Lady.
Oh, this is going to end like we are going to get the marriage of Dom and Jacket Lady. It is going to be like a Savage Elizabeth marriage because that ended so well.
I did, yeah.
You can lock her in the is that a closet behind you? I can't even.
That's my door to enter my apartment. Actually,
that's the door to your apartment. So people in the hallway are just like
they're hearing me
listening in.
Hearing me laugh about Magic Spoon plugs and stuff like that, and Carmen Sandiego talk.
Well, you know what the good news for your neighbors are? They can hear this every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern on a plethora of platforms, including the WW_Creative_ISH X account, the @SE Scoops X account, the @Dominic D'Angelo X account, and on YouTube on Rumor and Innuendo, Working Stiff, and ad-free shows. Dom has got a couple of other podcasts that you can plug into your ear holes. Including the producer of Working Stiff, which Scott Chapman and I'll be recording tomorrow. But Dom, you got some other folks, and more importantly, will we find out what appointment Greg Gagne was at?
That's key. We're gonna find out on Friday. All about it on Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go to 4horsemannetwork.com or OneTrueSportTV.com and check it out. You can also check out right now One of a Kind with RVD. We had special guest Sabu join us, talking some old stuff when it comes to WWE and his time there. We cover some fun details about the Sheik, some fun stories there. And then Rob,
I just assume Sabu like lives in his guest house, like he is his Kato.
The Kato. That'd be interesting, like the Pink Panther. But check it out. Go to rvdtv.com. We got some clips up there too. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Get the word out about the show too as well. Get the word out about this show. Give us 5 stars on Apple or Spotify. Help us out there. And we thank everybody for tuning in too. Right, Robert?
We thank almost everybody for tuning in here today. One or two of y'all kept trying to knock us off by talking about Rockapella. We got important work stuff to do here, guys. So on behalf of the super serious Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpolis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where in the world is San Diego?